All right, everybody, this is Kevin Grant. We're here with, a guy that a lot of people are very, very interested in right now. Somebody that really set the world on fire last year, kind of, took the world by storm and really surprised a lot of people. Grant Saylor, by the way, great first name, by the way. Grant, I just want to first and foremost, congratulate you on a great season last year. Like I said, you really took a lot of people by surprise the way that you and your teammates really came out and offensively kind of put a name to what Wootton football really is. Going all the way back, to the mid 2000s, you guys were known as a high-powered offense, and you kind of brought that back to Wootton. Just kind of talk about that, reflecting on 2016 and going into 2017, what you guys are going to try to build on.
So obviously this year in a lot of the 7-on-7 tournaments, I think we've made a name that we probably have the two best receivers in the county. Like, there's not anyone very close to our receivers, but to build on the high power offense, we're kind of like working on practice every day by going like no huddle, like trying to like outrun the teams that aren't used to the explosiveness of our offense.
Right.
And just kind of like all offseason, we've kind of been like conditioning to the point where like, if you can't keep up with us, we're just going to keep running, if you know what I mean.
Right. Absolutely. And you talked about your two wide receivers. Now,
Yep.
and just to be clear, we're talking about Nolie Miller and Elijah Trent.
Yeah.
Both guys are definitely going to be college prospects. Both guys. I mean, especially Miller. Came out of nowhere really, and just like you, kind of lit the world on fire. I mean, second in the whole county in receiving. And then if you look at it, Elijah was right underneath him, right at third. That just speaks to the kind of duo that you have coming back. Just expand on that a little bit, and just talk about that duo and what that brings to you as a quarterback, and what that does to defenses, and what kind of looks that you're going to be seeing, because a team can't completely double one or the other. They're going to have to pick the poison and everything like that.
Yeah, well, with Noah and Elijah, like, I think teams going into it last year, the reason why Noah and Elijah kind of like, Elijah was always very good, but Noah kind of exploded that, like, no one really had any clue that he was coming up and, like, his talent level. Like, he played QB on JV, and, like, they did well, but, like, he didn't show any of his, like, receiver capabilities. But, so, like, what you said with the teams not being able to cover it, even if, like, they have the players to cover a lot. They double cover Elijah, double cover Noah. We got two big new receivers that it's just, if you double cover them, then it's over, because they're just going to destroy the middle of the field.
Right.
And like a lot of the teams, like I said, they'll be able to double cover him, but it's to the point where, like, Elijah, he'll get up and get anything. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of impossible to stop two of them, and now all four of the receivers that are all really talented. And it makes my job so much easier, because I just have to get rid of the ball and get into the playmaker's hands.
Right. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, and you kind of talked about camp. You touched on it for a little bit. You're talking about how you guys are kind of conditioning to use the no huddle and getting the guys like Nolie Miller and Elijah Trent the ball a little bit, faster and wear out the defense. Just talk about how camp is going and some of the things you guys are focusing on in camp. Just talk about the offense in general. I know Coach Chris, he's a guy that was at Wootton. He was a prolific quarterback at Wootton, and talk about how he's kind of helped you a little bit, seeing the field and everything like that.
I mean, like, to be honest, we are working really hard on being, like, we're trying to be the fastest, most electrifying offense, but, like, a lot of the things we've been working on is really, like, being sound in what we know what to do.
Right.
So, like, for example, like, we'll be lining up, like, and he'll, without even no calls I made, but he'll do we're working on hand signals, so that like everyone's on the same page, and like, and once we get to the point where it's hand signals, it's we don't even go off our like play sheet. It's just Coach Pop looking at the defense and making like audibles to the different types of plays.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot we're working on during camp, is that not only like physically being there, but mentally being there and being able to be on the same page with everyone else.
Right. No, absolutely. Now talk about, and you know, you talked about a lot of the talent that you have. I'm pretty sure there's guys that we don't even know about yet that you guys know about, that we're gonna find out about once the season starts. Now, because of all that, a lot of people are talking about Wootton right now. A lot of people are talking about Wootton. You guys are kind of like the hot team, the trendy team to pick when it comes on to, you know, a team that's probably going to come out and really, set the world on fire. Kind of have like a RM-ish, Blairish kind of effect, you know, on the county. Just talk about the expectations. Are you guys kind of feeling it? You know, the kind of the momentum that you guys have, and what's being said in the locker room? Are you guys saying like, look, this is our year to kind of step it up and really go after it this year, go after that kind of season, and what are some of the measures that the coaches are taking to kind of let you guys understand the mentality that you have to accomplish what you want to accomplish?
So that's funny you said that. One of our coaches yesterday, after a film session, while we were watching film, he put in 2 printed out pieces of paper from the MOCOFB website, and it had the I don't know what it's called. I want to say like power. I don't know what it's called. It's the top stick and logo, and it had Blair, Seneca, Damascus, and then it had like a side note that said RM on the bottom or something like that.
Right.
And it's kind of just like telling us like last year we went 5-5. Like we did well. We did a lot better than I think people expected. Like we're not where we want to be. So we have to have the mentality that we're like no one respects us, and like we have to earn all the respect, because we really do. We have to earn more respect.
Right.
You know, 5-5 it's a good season, but it's not like we want the respectable of like a play. It's like playoff or bust. That's basically what our mentality is.
Right.
Like we're making the playoffs.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, that's a great mentality to have. And talk about earning respect. A good way to earn respect is coming right out the gate and punching one of the premier teams in this county right in the mouth. And I'm talking about Northwest. Talk about that first game and how, you know, that first game is going to be very, very emotional for you guys, obviously. But then now you also have 9 games after that too, that you're going to have to prepare for and everything like that. So talk about the mentality of, okay, we want to make a statement, but also understand that, you know, win or lose is not going to be something where it's going to make our season. We gotta still go out and play the 9 games and to make the playoffs and everything like that.
Yeah, well, so everything this summer, everything we've been doing when we've been doing offense and defense, it's all been focused on Northwest, because that's our number one priority. Not even that it's week 1, but it's that Northwest that we have the mentality we need to beat them.
Right.
Of course, we're gonna try just as hard as any other team, but week 1, based on how it ended last year with them week 10, week 1, that's what we have our eyes set on. That's our goal. And we've been focusing, we've been doing formations and stuff like that. That's gonna, I don't know. It's just all been focused towards Northwest, and I don't know. It's a lot of the coaches, we're not really focusing on what WJ is gonna do, Churchill, RM. More of this is what Northwest is gonna do, and this is how we have to beat it. This is what we have to do to beat it.
Right. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys kind of saw what a team I'm saying these 2 teams because these are the 2 teams that kind of did what you guys are trying to do. I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to even exceed what Blair and RM did. But you saw what those 2 teams did in relation to Northwest, and I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to do something like that. Do you guys draw from some inspiration? I know you guys probably are look, that's that team. That's what they did. But do you guys kind of draw on some inspiration off of what a team like Blair did, a team like RM did, 2 teams that a lot of people counted out a little bit and people didn't really give the respect and they kind of had to earn it during the season? Yeah,
well, it's funny with Blair. I think I think we're very similar to Blair in that, we have the skill position. Like, it's all there. Like, we have the most talented. Last year they had, the number one receiving.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't think of his name. But,
yeah, Cliff
I
Carter.
think we're very similar to, I think we're very similar to Blair because, last year we didn't really know. Blair knew how to finish games. Like when they played Northwest, they finished the game. They played the whole game.
Yeah, I was there. Yep.
Yeah. It was exciting. But I think that's what we've been really learning this offseason is like I know it's just 7-on-7, but when we've been getting down in these tournaments, like we've been working on finishing, and that's what we're gonna try to do this year. Last year, we weren't really used to like being these really close games where like the real playmakers had to step up, but we've been working on finishing so that I don't know, it's just something we took away from what Blair was doing, and they really knew how to do it well.
Right. No, absolutely, and that you're kind of touching on and leading into my next question. Getting over the hump. You guys did a lot of good things on offense last year, and as a team last year, put up some really good numbers. You were second in the whole county in passing. But when it came on to those big games, those big moments, versus the playoff caliber teams, you guys didn't, you guys couldn't find a way to just get over that hump. You stay in the game for 3 quarters or 3.5, but then now, for whatever reason you couldn't finish it at the end. Just kind of speak on your mentality this year when it comes on to the finishing, like you said, just kind of expand upon it, and just talk about how close you think you guys are to finishing those games now.
Well, the thing with finishing last year is that, I don't know, I mean, you probably know this, but we had a team where it was like 18 or 17 out of the 22 players in the field the starters were all,
right.
None of them were seniors.
Right.
So,
right.
It's the inexperience, I think, is what killed us last year.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to finishing, I don't even know the drills in practice we were doing, the red zone drills or the 2-minute drills where we got to get down all the way down the field.
Right.
Those types of drills is what we've been working on because we weren't really used to it last year. I remember in a game in Clarksburg, we were down by 2 points, I think, and we were on a game-winning drive, and we just couldn't finish.
Right.
And that's something I personally, because I blame myself on that last drive, but it's something I've taken to heart, and that's something I really wanted to focus on, something that we really touched on, and I think we'll be able to do that this year pretty easily because we've worked a lot. We worked really hard this year.
Right. Absolutely. I know that you're competitive. I can tell that you're competitive. I can tell that you're a competitor. Obviously you look at some of the other quarterbacks in this county, and we have some great ones that are coming back. Now, where and when you look at yourself, obviously you play at Wootton. A lot of people might overlook you because you're not at a Seneca Valley or you're not at a QO or something like that. Just for a second, describe to the people that are listening the kind of player that you are, and where do you see yourself? Do you try to compare yourself to the other people that are out there that people talk about? Where do you see yourself just when it comes on to just overall in the county and you as a player?
Well, to describe myself, I hate losing. I think losing is the most frustrating feeling ever.
Right.
When we were losing, it's just I got down. But this year, I've learned I need to be the leader and step up and bring everyone together and say we can win this game when we're down and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really say when you said who do you think I'm similar to in the county, I wouldn't really say I'm similar to anyone, but I like to learn from some of the other players in the county.
Right.
For example, and you said the quarterback, there's a lot of good, Doc Bonner, the way he runs is just incredible. I'm trying to learn from the way he runs when we played him. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, to be honest, there's really any other quarterback besides Doc Bonner that's on the same level of competitiveness and skill set and will to win that is in the county. Because he gets it done. I don't know. I'm trying to learn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Now he's a great one to learn from. I mean, he's a kid that played in a state championship game last year, and obviously he's a kid that I mean, just watching him run, he's a very competitive player as well, just like yourself. And when it comes onto the running part of it, yeah, he's a bull. Sometimes he puts himself in a little too much danger, but he's definitely a bull. And just talk about obviously we just talked about Doc Bonner, who's at QO and things like that. Obviously that's where you guys want to be. You guys want to be talked about at the end of the year with those kind of teams. Just to wrap this conversation up, just kind of talk about where do you see what is a successful season for Wootton? At the end of the day, do you guys have a number? Is it just the playoffs? Is it state champ? What is a successful season for Wootton in your opinion?
Well, I think that obviously the answer would be state, and I think that we potentially have the chance to make it there. But I think that the mentality of playoffs or bust is what kind of fits our team, because Wootton hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
A long time, when Mooney was the QB.
Yeah.
I just think that obviously we want to make the state championship, but I think when we make the playoffs, that's really going to bring our team together and realize we've got it here now. We have to finish what we started, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. So when we make the playoffs, week 1 in the playoffs, I think that's when we're going to step up and prove that we can run with the big teams.
Right. No, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, Grant, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm real excited to see your team. Coach Chris, he's one of my favorites. Even back when he was playing, I covered him, and he was always one of my favorite people to cover. Yeah. So I'm real excited. Yeah, I'm real excited to see him out there, and I'm excited to see you guys, man.
Thank you.
And just watching you guys last year was a pleasure, and hopefully you guys can actually get everything together and do what you want to do.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, man. Well, I know you're dead tired from camp, so I'm going to let you go, get some rest, and I'll look forward to seeing you this season.